This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stockbox interview.
Hi Darren, it's a pleasure to speak to you at what you've described as a pivot point moment for Panther Metals in today's announcement. Welcome to Stockbox.
Thanks for having me on, Stuart. It's good to be chatting to you.
So the company has conditionally raised 1.15 million via an equity placing today. That's a significant show of faith from investors in tough market conditions. So congratulations on that. In the RNS, you highlight 3 scenarios you considered for the business at this point. Can you outline them and explain your thought process?
Yeah, certainly can. And you're absolutely right. The market conditions globally are extremely challenging. And I'd like to thank the team at SI for putting this together. And it's certainly, whilst the terms for me personally and for the business and for existing shareholders are excruciatingly painful, to bring this capital in now does provide us with the opportunity to do something with the business and to move on to the next level. But the options that we were faced with was effectively to pull the shutters down, raise a little bit of capital just to keep the hordes at bay in terms of the corporate side, and see what the market does over the coming months. In that scenario, your cost base isn't going to stop turning. We would be faced with looking at the earliest towards the end of next May to be initiating our drill program. So once you put all those factors into consideration, that was probably the most painful option of the lot, because you're going to face dilution at the end of that period regardless. And there's no guarantees where the market's going to be at. I've got my own personal beliefs, but I think that the markets are offering an absolutely absurd value at the moment in exploration. And then option 2 was to raise sort of at a midpoint between the two there, maybe drill one of the targets, and with a view of coming back to the market and raising again. And that would go on, that would be a process to drill the 5 targets. So it would probably go on for 18 months. That would have been the most dilutive, doing that option, because you obviously in Canada and where we operate, you've got mobilisation fees and demobilisation fees. You're setting up camps, you're bringing everybody in. And to go in and out, if we do repeat that process 5 times, that would have been extraordinarily expensive, and it would have taken 18 months. And you've still got you've got your corporate cost base wheels turning still then. So it come down to the realities of it. If we could raise now, I've held on as long as I can in the market, and that's to see if the market did start to more reflect what the opportunities within exploration and within the sector are, and it hasn't. So I've had to take the extremely painful hit alongside shareholders, and it is painful. Make no mistake there, Stuart. But what it will do, it will give us the opportunity to get out there and start drilling, and we will drill all of these five targets before the end of year. And that has the opportunity to completely transform business. No other option could provide that opportunity.
Full speed ahead. Well, the drill program you discussed as the main driver for the funding is very significant. It includes up to 3,000 metres of diamond drilling at the Abonga project. Please, can you give an overview of that plan, including proposed times and planned targets?
Yeah, certainly. We'll be drilling 6 holes at Wishbone. We discovered a VMS at Wishbone. That was something that BHP were looking for when they were there in the early 90s, and they loved the site. You can read all their reports, they're publicly available online. We know for a fact that they still like the Abonga project. We'll be drilling 6 holes there, basically looking for the mineralisation associated with the VMS deposit. We've got exceptionally high grade lake sediment copper samples all around the area. We know something's going on there. We know the leaching processes have taken part. We know the VMS is in place. We are literally now, we go hunting for it. We drilled the high mag targets before, which is where we got all the massive sulfide. And now we'll be looking more at the low mag, because copper isn't responsive on it's because it's non-magnetic is the easiest explanation to use. So because it's not magnetic, if you use a magnetic process over a copper deposit, it actually shows nothing, and that's what we're now we'll be targeting there. Then we'll also be drilling on Awkward. Awkward is probably the number one area for us, and always has been on Abunga. This is a conduit, and what that means is that basically the fluids flowed through effectively a tube. And when they flow through that tube, and if it's carrying commodity, particularly nickel is what we're looking for there, but we're also got there is copper available and platinum, palladium. So when it flows through the tubes, in effect, the commodity is heavier than any of the other fluids. And what it does, it settles down. So it settles at the bottom of that conduit. And that's where your ore deposits build up. Now we've got perfect examples of this in terms of the Lac des Hills mine, which is 80 kilometres due south of where we are. Same things happen there. That mine's been in production since the mid-90s, was actually sold for around $1 billion in Canadian terms in 2018-19. So it's significant, and even further south into the States, you've got the Eagle mine, which is again a conduit, but it's all on this north-south trending system. And we've got high-grade anomalous nickel and copper in historic samples, but none of these drill holes actually drilled the conduit, and they're around that area. So we know that we've got nickel in this location. We know that we can see copper leaching from some of the cliffs. We know that's not the primary source of that copper. We know that it's a secondary source of that is coming from somewhere. Awkward is a stunning geological target, a bit like Wishbone, but it genuinely offers immense upside. And then we're going to be drilling Ottertooth. That's VMS target along with Survey. That's another VMS target. And then an intriguing one to the north, which is called Silver Rim. This is on the back of some anomalous high lithium in the lake sediment right near this anomaly. And there's also nice silver anomaly there. And it's only a little bit more expensive for us to go in there and drill this anomaly, as opposed to going there and do the exploration work to then decide if we should drill it. So we're just going to go ahead and drill it because the costs work in our favour.
Superb. Well, you've clearly got an extensive programme of drilling ahead. How excited are you then to be leading Panther Metals into this programme and taking the business forward in 2023?
Look, this is everything we've built up to. We've put all of our moves so far to enable us to get to this point, because we knew that this would be the most cost-effective way of doing it. It's always going to be tinged with a certain amount of regret at the level we've had to raise and the pain that will cause existing shareholders, myself being one of them. However, you have to move aside from that. That's done now. We can't control the markets, and as a result, we have to suck it up. The fact that we've been able to raise the amount of money we have should tell people just how highly well regarded we are as a company. We've got everything in place to push it, and everybody should be really excited once they get over almost the shock of this placing and the level that it's at. Everybody should be excited, because this is going to be one of the. Well, I have no other examples of an exploration company based in London with a focus on Canada pulling off this type of exploration program. Because remember, we can all fiddle about on surface. All the companies can fiddle about on surface all day long, but the drilling, they say you drill it and kill it. Absolutely. But you can drill it and make the discovery that transforms things. And I want to go for that discovery, and I'll always be doing it in the most cost-effective way. And with an eye on the market that obviously has caused us some pain, but also the market supported us. It supported us at a low level, but it supported us, and we've now got to move on and get this program underway, and that's exactly where our focus is. And this is going to be an amazing few months ahead for us and our shareholders.
Superb. Well, I look forward to seeing it develop. And many thanks for your time today, Darren. And I hope we can speak again very soon for an update. Thank you.
Thanks, Stuart. Take care.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.